early resistance, the British, the Mysore Sultans and the resistance. Mysore was a small feudatory kingdom under the Vijayanagar Empire. After the Vijayanagar fell in 1565, the ruling dynasty of Udayars asserted their independence, and the Raja Udaya was under the throne in 1578. The capital moved from Mysore to Srirangapatnam in 1610. Udayar dynasty continued to rule until 1760, when the real power changed hands to Hyder Ali. Hyder Ali's father, Fateh Muhammad, was the fourth garrison commander of Kolar. After his death, Hyder's soldierly qualities helped him rise through the military ranks. By 1755, he had secured a powerful position. He had secured a powerful position commanding 100 horsemen and 2,000 infantrymen. Hyder suppressed an army mutiny in Mysore and restored the places of the Mysore kingdom occupied by Marathas. He received the title Fateh Hyder Bahadur, the brave and victorious lion. In 1760, Hyder allied himself with the French at Pondicherry against the English, but his position at home was endangered by the plot engineered by the Marathas. Hyder successfully handled the situation, and thereafter he became not only Dalawai but the de facto ruler of Mysore. In 1770, the Mysore king Nanja Raja was poisoned to death. Thereafter, Udayar kings functioned only as nominal rulers. Hyder Ali and the British, after obtaining Diwani right to collect taxes on behalf of the Mughal emperor from Bengal, Bihar, and Orissa, the company had to safeguard its territories. The company was not strong enough; it avoided interfering in the internal affairs of Indian states. Warren Hastings maintained buffer states to live within a ring fence. The company was, however, drawn towards the affairs of the Carnatic due to the successful struggles for its Nawabship. The English traders saw this as a great opportunity to directly uh, interfere in the Indian politics. However, there are threats between two strong powers represented by Hyder Ali and the Nizam of Hyderabad. In the First Carnatic War, Colonel Ford, while conducting the forces from Bengal, captured Masulipatam in 1759. This led to a treaty with Salabad Jung, who ceded northern Sakkars to the British. Uh, Ganjam, Visakhapatnam, Godavari, Krishna, and Guntur. Uh, uh, English acquisition English acquisition of the northern Circus was legalized by the Mughal Emperor in 1765 by the Treaty of Allahabad. In 1766, trouble arose when the English occupied those districts, yet a treaty was signed with Nizam Ali, who acquiesced in the cession. In return, the English promised to help in case of any danger from the enemies. This promise meant English were to help Nizam against Hyder Ali, thereby the genesis of the later subsidiary system. Despite the treaty, Nizam came to an understanding in the Hyder in 1765-7, and the British therefore declared a war against Hyder. This is called the First Anglo-Mysore War or the First Mysore War. An English army from Bombay captured Mangalore and other surrounding places on the on the west coast, but Hyder succeeded in recovering both. Uh, the English made an attempt to capture Bangalore but to no avail. In 1768, Hyder pounced on Baramahal, Salem district and marched on Karur and then Erode and took over both by defeating Captain Nixon. Meanwhile, his general Fazlullah Khan marched on Madurai and Tirunelveli. Hyder advanced to Tanjavur and from there to Kadalur. Though Hyder did not want to stop his offense against the English, the threat of Maratha invasion forced him to negotiate peace with the English. The terms of the Treaty of Madras were as follows: the conquered territories were returned to each except Karur, which was to be retained by Hyder. Mutual assistance was to be retained in face of defense, but the English was to help them Hyder against the Marathas. But when assistance from the English was not forthcoming, Hyder turned against the English. Hyder and the Second Mysore War. After the American War of Independence, France had signed a treaty of friendship with America 1778 and so Britain declared a war against France. In similar context of Saint reaching an agreement with America and thereby being dragged into the war against England. 1779 England remained isolated. In India, the coming together of the Nizam and the Marathas supported by the French aggravated the situation. Hyder Ali wanted to turn England's difficulty to its advantage and marched on Karnataka. Colonel Bailey was who joined the force led by Hector Munro, badly wounded in a sudden attack by Hyder. This forced Munro to move Madras. Hyder captured Arcot 1780. Now on request from Madras government, Sir Eyre Court, the victor of the Battle of Vandavashi, was sent from Calcutta to besiege Madras by sea. Sukkot proceeded to Pondicherry. Hyder in the meantime overran the kingdom of Tanjore. Hood reached Porto Novo and won a decisive victory against Hyder. Hyder narrowly escaped capture. Colonel Braithwaite was thoroughly defeated by Hyder's son Tipu and taken prisoner. In order to divert the attention of the Mysore Sultan, an expedition was taken by General Matthews to capture Mangalore. The death of Hyder due to cancer in 1782 and signing of the Treaty of Paris in 1783, at the end of American War of Independence and the protracted siege of Mangalore enabled the English to be aggressive against Tipu. Karur and Dindigul were captured by Colonel Lang. Colonel Fullerton seized Palghat and Coimbatore, but his advance on Srirangapatnam were preempted by Tipu with his proposal for peace. The Treaty of Mangalore was signed in March 1784, according to which both parties agreed to give up their contests and release the prisoners. So, Second Anglo-Mysore alliance with the Treaty of Mangalore, which was signed in March 1784. The Third Mysore War, which are the Governor General as Cornwallis. Cornwallis wanted to deal with Tipu in a revengeful manner and to cook at southern powers. Nizam of Hyderabad and the Maratha Confederacy supported the British allies. The Nizam of Hyderabad supplied resources and even troops for the British to war against Tipu. The Marathas who signed the Treaty of Salbai sided with the English. In 1782, the British position was greatly strengthened. Tipu sent an embassy to Constantinople and another in 1787 to Paris. These diplomatic efforts of Tipu were intended to strengthen him amongst the English. The French monarch Louis XVI was hospitable but could give only vague promises of support to the Sultan. Tipu's attack on Travancore, which was an ally of the British, and his capture of Kodunganallur was treated as a declaration of war on the company government. Hence, the Third Anglo-Mysore War broke out. Colonel Harty defeated Tipu's general Hussain Ali at Calicut. In response, Tipu captured Tiruvannamalai. His effort to support the French Pondicherry governor did not materialize. Cornwallis himself marched from Vellore and reached Bangalore. On his way, he encountered Tipu and defeated him in Srirangapatnam. Due to lack of provisions, Cornwallis had to retreat. The reinforced army of the English marched on Srirangapatnam again and besieged it. Unable to withstand the onslaught, Tipu offered peace and accepted the terms imposed by Cornwallis. According to the Treaty of Srirangapatnam, Tipu had to give half of his dominions and pay 3 crores of rupees as indemnity and pledge 2 of his sons as hostages. The allies Marathas and British were given equal shares of indemnity and thus the ceded territories. The English got Malabar, Dindukal, Burma and Barmahal. Tipu lost Coorg, whose Raja became a feudate to the company. Tipu's power was greatly reduced, and after their stay at Madras as hostages, the boys returned to Srirangapatnam on 29th May 1794, when their father paid all the dues to the English. Tipu could hardly forget the humiliation. The Mysore king Chamaraj IX died in 1796. Tipu resolved not to observe the formality of appointing a king. Synchronizing with this circular of the French colonial government of Mauritius, General Malartic, that after obtaining French help, he would declare war on the English in July 1798. Tipu's correspondence with the English, with the French directory, and later with Napoleon and his evasiveness in his correspondence with Wellesley led to his declaration of war against Tipu. In the Fourth Mysore War, Wellesley was viceroy. In 1796, Tipu sent emissaries to Paris again. In 1796, he received a French emissary to confirm French support from Mauritius, encouraged by Tipu's alliance with the French. Wellesley, now the Governor-General, instituted an standing army at Mysore under the subsidiary system. Tipu turned down Wellesley's proposal and British declared the Fourth Anglo-Mysore War in 1799. General David Bad stormed Srirangapatnam. Tipu's offer of peace was rejected, shot dead by an European soldier. The elimination of Tipu and the restoration of the old deities of the Mysore kingdom marked the real beginning of the company rule in South India. The sons of Tipu were in turn first at Vellore and later, after the Vellore revolt of 1806, shifted to Calcutta, thus ending the valiant fight of the Mysore Sultans against English.